What's up, guys? Today we're going to take a look at Hi-Fi Rush from the guys over at Tango Gameworks, and you might know them from games like Evil Within. Let's get right into it. It is a 3D rhythm action game where the rhythm aspect of the game is used for combat. The world that the game takes place in is absolutely gorgeous. It's 3D cel-shaded graphics. And if you're a fan of my channel, you know that I'm a sucker for cel-shaded graphics and a vibrant color scheme. And I hate to admit, I usually shy away from rhythm games. But for some reason, it was on Game Pass, I downloaded it anyway. But the 3D world sucked me right in. So if you're like me and you shy away from rhythm games, definitely give this one a shot. I think you're gonna like it. The rhythm aspect of the game isn't too overbearing in that it doesn't take over the whole game. You do still run around and approach enemies and do some light puzzle solving here and there. It just so happens that the combat is centered around rhythm. You see, while you're playing the game, there's a constant beat in the background that your character runs along with and fights along with. So when you approach a fight, you have light attacks and heavy attacks. The light attacks are quicker, so you want to press X, 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 and that does your light attack. So heavy attacks are a little different. And if any of you know how to read music, you sort of skip a note for heavy attack. So it goes heavy attack, skip, heavy attack, skip, heavy attack. And every combo pretty much ends at the fourth note. And if you time your attacks correctly, you can end the combo with a really powerful move, either choosing light moves or heavy moves. Now, my favorite part of the combat is the evading. You can actually evade on rhythm as well, and I love pulling that off. You can evade up to 3 times on rhythm. 1, 2, 3. And just doing that to kind of maneuver around the enemies gets really addictive after a while. Do enough normal attacks like this and you get pretty much this game's version of God of War's Spartan Rage. Click down L3 and R3 at the same time and he performs a special attack. Once you master the combat, the boss fights are where it all comes together. The boss fights are absolutely epic, almost like Zelda, the 3D Zelda games where the boss is in the center and you're kind of working around the boss, attacking the weaknesses, figuring the patterns out. It's nothing you haven't seen before, same typical things, go for the weak spot or stun them and then go for the weak spot. Again, don't be discouraged by the game's rhythm mechanics. I think it's done really well. At first, yes, it does take a little getting used to. I'd say maybe around 4 battles or so and you get used to the combat the way that the game wants you to fight. And honestly, the game's pretty refreshing. I don't know why they chose to kind of surprise this game on everyone, but I feel like those are the games, number one, that I keep Game Pass around for. I love when Game Pass just surprises us with a random gem of a game. And really any developer. I hate when games are talked about too much and then when it comes out we overhyped it too much and then now we don't like the game because we overhyped it too much. This game, there was no way to overhype this game unless you follow the developer or something, I'm assuming. But no, I don't think anybody knew that this game was coming out. Something else that I like that you don't see in too many rhythm games is the world exploration. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I don't really play rhythm games to know that you could explore the world like this. So it plays pretty much like a 3D platformer of like the PS2 days of Ratchet & Clank. Honestly, it reminded me a lot of Ratchet & Clank, especially with like the nuts and bolts that you have to pick up in order to buy upgrades later down the road. And you do get rewarded venturing off path to find the game's currency. Things like booby traps and the platforming is all rhythm based as well. You'll see things in the environment pulsating along with the music, and that'll kind of give you a cue when to jump onto the next platform or to hook on to the next grappling point. Is the world based in realism? Definitely not. And you know what? You need games like this. Totally fake, cartoonish, and cool. The main character, Shy, is really likable from the get-go. Here's looking at you, Forspoken. I'm sorry, but this character is actually very likable from the beginning. He is corny in that, you know, Michelangelo, you know, I just want to party type of way. But you know what? It works for him. It works for the setting. It works for the game mechanic. So in this case, I approve. It helps that the voice acting is absolutely stellar from the main character, Shy, his partner, Peppermint, and even the villain characters are pretty funny. Nobody's taking their role way too seriously. Everybody's just having fun with it. The game's presentation absolutely oozes with style, almost like Persona 4, where there's no dull moment in the presentation. The menus, the things on screen, the overlays, and even the effects on screen as you're fighting. Everything's nice and flashy, keeping your attention with all like the lighting effects and everything. Honestly, I think we've been getting a lot of hyper-realistic games, which have been good. God of War, even Forspoken. I know people have been having a fun time with Forspoken, even though it's been getting some bad press. But it's nice to see a nice, cartoonish, good game with 3D platforming and a world to explore. Because you know what they say, stylized games in the long run are usually the ones that are remembered the fondest. So I think they did something here. I would love to see the lore of this world a little more fleshed out. The game does kind of throw you into things quickly, and that is something that I like, but I would have liked to see maybe a little bit more lore. I really think that they have a franchise here on their hands. This is almost like something Nintendo wishes they made. Nintendo's probably watching this game and just already thinking of a way to port it to the Switch. It's almost like that other game Nintendo resurrected, We Are Heroes or No More Heroes. So guys, that's my quick look at Hi-Fi Rush. It's definitely, if you have Game Pass, this is a must play. Again, why would you not? Even if it is on Steam, I believe it is on Steam, definitely give it a shot if you don't have access to Xbox Game Pass. I hope you enjoyed my first impressions on this game. I'll see you on the next one.